cameras.
We're looking for managers of golfing places, golfing courses.
What does that even mean?
She wants to be golf
Are we
cart
live?
girl.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to leave it
Y
for
tú si
Wait,
quieres
don't we have somebody else?
No, we're gonna have to talk about.
Jerry.
Jerry?
Jerry, where you at?
What are we talking about?
Vamos que Santiago. Where's Santiago?
Hello, Jerry.
Oh, yeah.
Que Santiago? Tell Santiago come over here.
Yeah. He doesn't ever make an appearance on the English, so let's get him on English.
Hey,
All right, well, we're going to go ahead.
Yeah, coménzale.
Hey, yes.
Hey. What the heck? Are you serious? I just missed it.
That's crazy, bro. Y'all done messed up my algorithm.
Órale.
My algorithm's going crazy
Hombre,
right now.
coménzale.
Relax, bro. This ain't the Spanish podcast. It starts whenever I'm ready to start it.
Bro.
I'm gonna put this over here. Where you put this?
So we're gonna.
I'm gonna put this right here.
Yeah, we're live now. You
déjate
want
la-
to go ahead
te
and
la
put your headphones on?
Bro, whenever I book people, man.
Jules, we're good?
I have like
Sound looks good. The video looks good. Everything.
I have people online.
Awesome, guys. Today we are gonna go
So-
ahead and what happened?
he sent me a
Oh,
message. Something happened.
Textémelo. What?
Something happened. But
Okay.
he's good.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, guys. So we have an emergency podcast. Last minute. As a matter of fact, I am kind of glad. Not glad, right? Because something did happen. But the fact that we're just here and it's realtors today, and not necessarily special guests, simply because we have had a few things pop up in the conversation inside of networks. Whenever we're coming down to the real estate news, which is the new commission breakups that are happening, especially with the lawsuit that just happened. Even though we are not 100% sure exactly which route that is going down, we do have a broker here who seems to have a pretty good insight on it and kind of a game plan on what he's thinking about going forward. So I would like to ask Nate, how do you see this lawsuit affecting us, or what happened in the lawsuit?
So, once again, right? The lawsuit, it's going to take time for it to affect us, right? Of course, but all that's going to happen is that they're not going to be able to disclose on the MLS what commission they're going to be able to give you, which really sucks because even now there is real estate agents that try to they'll take a listing agreement, right? And the listing agreement essentially says there, right? You're telling the seller how much commission you're getting and how much commission you're giving the real estate agent who brings the deal. And they will still try to give you less commission sometimes, depending on how, if the house brings a lot of traffic, right? So now it's going to be, impossible for you to know, what commission they're getting. Now, this whole thing that they're saying, that they're not gonna, they can't stop the seller from paying a commission to the buyer's agent. It's impossible. Okay, so that's not gonna happen. Okay, but yeah, it's gonna be to the point where you're not gonna know what the listing agent has in his pocket to give. Okay, so
Is that something? Sorry to interrupt. Is that something you would say that when you're potentially looking for your clients' homes that you're going to be, possibly showing them, where right now you're able to see, what commission they're offering? Is that something that will no longer be underneath their
On the
listing?
MLS.
That's effective immediately as of July.
You will not know. You're literally going to go out there and show houses and not know.
And not know that it could be 1%.
But the thing is this,
Or less.
What's really going to go away, right? And it's going to be the hey, I'm looking for a house, and agents jump in the car and go show those freaking houses. You know what I'm saying? It's essentially going to go to way of the commercial broker, right, or the commercial realtor, right? When I do a commercial deal, I send a letter of intent. I send a letter of intent and say, hey, look, this is what my guy wants. This is what he's gonna, what he's looking at, and this is, what my commission, what I want, right? And so it used to be deemed unethical for you to do that, right? Because whatever was listed on the MLS was the commission that was being offered for the deal, and you asking for more commission, it was considered unethical. But now that's going away. So honestly, it's actually a good thing. Well, for me, not for newbie agents that don't know any better, right? For me, it's better because I'm gonna put myself, 6% commission. I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna tell my my buyers, hey, you know what? I want 6% commission, and it's coming out of the deal. I don't care what commission split or structure you have over there. I want my commission.
I think that's something very smart. I was doing continuing education not too long ago, and one of the instructors was saying, hey, at the end of the day, it's negotiable.
It is.
But if
Yes.
you want my
It
type
is.
of service and you want my type of attention, then I'm going to give you this is what I'm charging.
Yeah.
Yes, that 6% is just like a number that has become like the norm, but that's not like something that we have to be, obligated to get. So I feel like it's, I mean, as of now it was unethical, to ask if there, as an agent, to ask, is there any commission on the deal? Is that, how much commission are you paying? So how do you as a broker, how do you think that's going to change? Like agents are going to call straight up and say and ask you like, hey,
I mean, they have to know. They have to know what they're making. And the thing about it, this is the crazy part. And remember, I think I said this, in another podcast, right? That I've been doing social media for a long time. I was doing Facebook, right? And I remember with Facebook, I would post things out there because, I would say, hey, I'm giving this much commission, I'm giving this much. I would get messages, emails. I even had the HAR board's attorney call me. I have receipts. Literally, where one of the board members messaged me on Facebook. And I even posted it. And he got mad, and the attorney for HAR called me and told me that I couldn't do that, and that I was, that it was unethical for me to be doing that, and that was price fixing, and they just accused me of all kinds of things. I said, you know what? I'll take it down. I don't want no problems, whatever, right? But now, right, that's going to go away. Now I need to know how much commission I'm getting paid, And the thing is this, they did away with the whole thing, right? Because, where agents were saying, hey, my services are free, right?
yes.
And remember that they told us we couldn't do that anymore? And so they told us we couldn't say that our services were free because it's not. We're getting paid a commission. So the thing is that when they made us tell everybody that our services weren't free anymore, right? That it was coming from the deal, then that's whenever we should have changed our laws, and we should have been like, hey, how much commission am I getting, right? Because honestly, no matter what, if I show you a home, I'm getting a commission out of the deal. So you're financing that home. So I'm getting paid from your purchase.
Correct.
So yeah, you're not doing a free service. And there's still real estate agents saying that their services were free. It's just they don't know because they haven't been trained, okay? And so the thing is, now it's just making it harder for us because now we have to look at our buyer and say, hey, buyer, my services are 3%. And if the seller doesn't give it to me, it's going to come out of your end and it's going to get tacked on top of the deal into the price, right? That's all that it's doing. And the thing is that there's just not a lot of real estate agents out there trained enough, for what they do, or have the I guess confidence that they're doing an actual service to ask for that money. And that's where those agents are gonna struggle.
To know their worth.
To know their worth, exactly. Because there's realtors out there have no idea how they made a $20,000 check. I'm telling you. I've had people say, I'm just gonna give them $5,000 before they can close. No, I said no. That you're doing a service, that's your money, And I believe wholeheartedly, whenever I go and I represent you as a realtor, I am working for my money, and I want to get paid. For all the work that I do, I want to get paid. And so does everybody else. So now we're going to ask for that money. Now we're going to say, hey, you know what? My services are 4%. You divvy it up however you want to figure it out with your freaking buyer. That's what's going to end up happening. And then you're going to get people start trying to make you look bad, say you're, money hungry, saying you're whatever, because it can't be hush-hush anymore like it was.
Yeah, but guess what? They're going to turn the page and go with somebody else, and it's going to be the same thing.
Yeah, you're going to find, and then you're going to get all the freaking real estate agents that are right around town for $500 to show you a freaking house, right? And once again, I blame this on the brokers. And what's funny is that I did a video, right? And I'm saying, hey, look, I didn't want to do a video, but I'm going to do a video. We need to get industry leaders, right?
With your fur coat that was
with my fur coat,
unnecessary.
Where was who sponsored it?
It was it was Orchid Media. So anyway, so the thing, Orchid Grove Media. So the thing is this. It's funny because I did a video and somebody invites me to some class to show me how they're going to revolutionize this new law that's coming through, right? And guess
Why?
where
Because they don't agree with it?
guess where that realtor is from?
Keller
EXP.
Williams.
Keller Williams. Keller Williams, just for in case nobody knows, okay? Keller Williams is directly involved in this lawsuit, okay? Just because they settled and try to wipe their hands or clean their hands of it, they are directly involved. They're one of the people that were named for this conspiracy. And just in case you didn't know, okay, before you got into real estate, before Keller Williams was a household name, okay, Keller Williams price set the 6%, okay? Because before that, people were paying 10, 14%, you know? So you know, it's so funny to me that the people that actually got us in this trouble are still out there doing the same thing, you know? And then talking about they're going to help us in this time of crisis, right? And they're actually even saying that we're not in a time of crisis, that it's just a change and an evolution, is I think is what the person called it, right? And it's not. It's done. We need to be done with this. We need brokers to step up and be brokers. We need franchises to be held accountable. We need to stop letting these teams run wild with all this craziness, okay? Because that's what has got us into this problem that we're in right now.
How do you guys feel about, like, personally, you know, on a personal level, about what's going on? Like, are you guys, like, you know, us as new realtors, are you guys, like,
Afraid?
nervous? And I asked this because I was having this conversation with my husband, like, Monday or Tuesday, because I had one family member that was reading the news and said, hey, like, what's going to happen with you? Like, are you going to quit real estate? I was like, no, why would I quit?
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
and my husband asked me the same thing. He was like, are you nervous? I'm like, why would I be? I don't even know. Like, I mean, what's coming? Why would I be nervous?
I got that asked question then too, and I was like, I'm just getting on the surfboard. I'm gonna just ride with it. I mean, you're already here. What else to do?
You don't know
Just
no
ride
better,
with it.
yeah. It's not going away. We're gonna make money, and they're gonna figure it out. I mean, the thing is that if buyers agents, you know, if we lost all our buyers agents today and they weren't getting paid, the market wouldn't move. So listing agents wouldn't get paid. So you know, mortgage companies wouldn't make money. Title companies wouldn't make money. You know, builders wouldn't make money. I mean, it's a, you know, something has to change. They have to figure something out for them to be able to keep on getting paid. And they are.
So what do you think about the speculations that because this is changing, the house prices are going to drop?
No, that's not going to affect the house prices.
I mean, I see it all over social media.
No, I mean, like I said, it's a lot of misinformation in social media, and not just that. I mean, we really don't know what, you know, who's gonna enforce this, right? Who's gonna enforce it?
So the reason why you're hearing that about the house prices dropping, right, is because that's what the DOJ's intention was to make it cheaper for buyers, home buyers in particular, to buy a house, right? Because their understanding was that even though it wasn't disclosed to them who was necessarily paying the other 3% to their buyer's agent, you know, they thought that their service was free. So what they said was, you know what, no longer is that part of the deal, or doesn't have to be part of the deal. Doesn't even have to be disclosed, which of course you always negotiate your commission if you wanted to, even though it wasn't necessarily, I guess you could say, appropriate for you to do it. But if you have permission from your buyer to do it, you could do it. You just let them know ahead, hey, they're paying 1%, I'm going to negotiate for my 3%. And if your buyer was okay with it, you can move forward with it, right? You just had to disclose. So now the reason why the DOJ, or why people are saying it's going to be cheaper, is because that's the DOJ's intention, was to go ahead and make the home purchase cheaper. But what's actually going to happen, like I always say, whenever there's a quote-unquote win or a W for the American people, there's always a downfall right behind it, right?
Yeah.
They give you the poison within the candy. So what's actually going to happen, and the reason why I don't necessarily talk about this on the realtor side, because to me, with the realtors who can't make money and work and get listings, that's on them. It has nothing to do with the consumer. I'm more concerned about the consumer, the buyers, because that's who I'm helping out. That's who I cater to.
Same.
I don't cater to realtors, right? I cater to home buyers and home sellers. So my concern is the home buyer side of this, right? Because what's going to happen? Even though, let's say, you know what, the realtors who really want it completely switch their game plan to moving over to catering to home sellers, and they become really good at that. Okay, awesome. Now you become the home selling agent. So you're not losing money. It doesn't matter, right? Because you're representing the seller now. But what happens whenever the buyers are coming in and they're like, hey, you know what? I want to buy a house. The people who are using FHA, first-time home buyers, who only have the 3.5% down, sometimes they don't even have that. Now they have to come out of pocket to pay their buyer's agent, who who now, if they don't have the money, what are they going to do? Okay, well, I don't have the money to pay a buyer's agent. I'm just going to go unrepresented. What happens whenever the buyer goes unrepresented? Well, they don't know the terms of the contract. That means automatically, boom, I'm going to represent my seller 100%. Give you 1 day option period, 2 day option period,
Yeah.
$1,000 freaking option period fee for 2 days for you to go and do your inspections. Make sure that you get it done. Make a decision tomorrow if you're going to move forward with this house or not. Well, that's up to you. You don't have representation. I'm doing the best that I can for my seller. I'm there for their interest, not yours.
Yeah.
So what happens? Now they have to figure out a way to finance their buyer's agent. So what does that mean? They're gonna have to find a way to add that money on top of the house because there's not gonna be negotiated how it is, quote unquote, now into the sale of the property. It's gonna be an extra loan on top of the loan for the house.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't happen, you go unrepresented. If you go unrepresented, you can find a realtor who do it for the cheap. That realtor doesn't understand what he's doing anyway. That's why he's
Yeah.
doing it for the cheap.
He's
Or you're gonna finance it. So all this is doing is just making it harder for first-time buyers to buy a house.
Yeah, it's only affecting a certain price point.
So
Exactly.
and now that you mentioned that, FHA, a lot of times you only, a lot of FHA clients or prospects will only have money for, the 3.5%. Do you think, the way the loan works might change a little where now they're going to be able to finance the realtor commission?
They're already talking about
Yeah, they're
that.
talking about
They're already
that.
talking about
That's
that.
the scary
Because-
part, though.
Because the commission was
That's the scary part.
the commission was already financed.
Well-
But it was part of the price. It had to fit within
Exactly.
It had to fit within
The value of the house.
The value of the home. But now if they're gonna negotiate and for us to get our commissions financed, that means it's going to be a whole separate fee that they're going to be able to allow. So that means we're going to pay more.
Yeah, now look at this, though,
So-
right? One thing that people aren't taking into consideration, they're like, okay, well, I'll just finance the extra, right? Okay, but what does that mean? The extra that you're financing is not attached to the FHA, guidelines, right? Because it's for government represented. So now the extra that you're going to finance, they can do it like a credit card to where the interest fluctuates
Yeah.
with the market. So again, we could go
So
back.
it's kind of
and
like
see-
I'm sorry that
no, you're
interrupt you. It's like kind of like the first-time homebuyer financial assistance. That it's
No.
Not even then, because
like a
because
separate-
assistance it's under a certain guideline for her first-time home buyers because it's attached to the value of the house, right? This is not attached to the value of the house, or it won't be attached to the value of the house. This is what you have to pay out of pocket, so you're getting a loan. That means that the interest rate can fluctuate. They can do it that way. They can. That's the way that they can do it, and that's where they're probably going to make most of their money.
wow.
That's the problem.
So
Yeah.
the way for you, and I have a fix for this. If yes, they want us to get our commissions from the buyer. Okay, fine. Then listing agents cannot represent, the same dual intermediary. If they need to do that, they need to, if the listing agent cannot represent the buyer, the seller too. I mean the buyer, only the seller. That's how we eliminate.
Yeah, because
Because there's no way that you can be fair.
Yeah, because let's say if you're in a situation like that, if you're a listing agent that is charging 6% plus you charge the buyer's agent or the buyer another 3%, I mean you're making.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean it's.
Definitely.
I see your point.
And that's another thing too. Everybody knows that you pay 6% for your listings. So what? Listing agents are gonna stop charging 6%?
That's
No.
the key point there.
They're not.
It's just making the whole
They're going
process
to.
more
So,
expensive because let's say, okay, cool. Let's say one of these sellers figures out, oh, you know what? There's this lawsuit. The agent's like, you know what? You're right. I'm gonna go ahead and drop you down to 5 or 4.5. Still paying them more. And then
Yes.
who's to say the unrepresented realtor comes on and now they put him on with another agent that they know and they're like, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and charge him $5,000 for the contract and we'll split that.
Yeah.
It's too much money to be
It's
made
too
on
much,
this.
yeah, it's too much back end stuff. There's
Exactly,
too much
yeah.
and
When is this coming back on effect?
So removing the commission pay is in July.
Okay. But
Everything else,
stays the
it's
same,
not
right?
settled
Like
yet. Well, we don't know
rentals and
yet.
all that?
It's up in the air right now. We don't know what's gonna happen.
So just to clarify what we've been talking about. This is Keller Williams' fault, all right? That's one. All right. Second is if they're gonna do that to us, then we need to stop intermediary. That means that the listing agent cannot represent
Both parties.
the buyer. Also, we need to throw into that, but any
Why-
kind of
why?
settlement that
Sorry
we
to
do,
interrupt. Why?
we have to throw in there that wholesalers have to be licensed. That's another thing that needs to be fixed here so that we can fix this market, okay? Now, with that being said, right, I think NAR has lost how many how many members has it lost?
It's ridiculous.
I mean, is
It's
it
crazy.
even going to survive this? I mean, what's next? What are we going to have next? I mean, because if you think about it, right, as much as we hate NAR, as much as, they were in bed with, NAR was in bed with Zillow, right? You guys don't even know all that drama, why we got jacked by
But
Zillow.
at the end of the
Yeah.
day, they're
So-
like a regulatory agency.
Well, the thing is this. NAR was in bed with Zillow, okay? NAR sold all our MLS information to Zillow to the point where Zillow turned around and started selling back our own leads, okay? And it was a deal that they were tied up with, okay? Now, NAR was in bed with Keller Williams, okay? And got sued, okay?
They got betrayed.
So yeah, but the thing is this, as much as we don't like them, they're powerful. They have a lobby. They're lobbyists. I mean, they're in the Capitol, fighting for their own benefit, right? Not for us, but still, they're powerful. The thing about it is that I think that it's tough because everybody's starting to get upset with NAR because all they hear is NAR, 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 right? We get all this misinformation from all these stupid people, right? And so now everybody's gonna start leaving NAR, and now we're just gonna be out here, twisting in the wind.
No, it's going to be the wild,
Yeah.
wild west
Yeah, it's
again.
wild, wild
so
west.
what's
So
going
do
to
you
happen, and what I see a lot, like what I can already see is going to happen, is that realtors are going to be wholesalers.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's always going to happen. We're going to get rid of the buyer's agents, or the buyer's agents won't be able to function.
And I'm ready.
They're not going to be able to function. And what's going to happen? Again, the consumer is the only one who loses here. The realtors who know what they're doing, they know how to market, they know how to negotiate. They're going to survive, right? And any realtor who wants to come into the business and is willing to learn that side, they're going to survive.
Yeah.
Realtors aren't everybody's saying that, oh, the realtors are going to lose and everybody's happy. That's not the case. The only realtors who are going to lose are the ones that you use because their chichis are all out, right? those are the only ones that your favorite realtor is going to lose, right? But the
Or
ones who
champagne
actually
popping.
do
Your favorite.
exactly, yeah, your favorite
Champagne
realtor is going to lose.
popping.
But the ones who are actually doing the work, they're not going to lose because they're just going to adjust to this.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It sells. It sells. There's always things that change, right? Now, the main person who's losing again is the consumer.
The consumer's
It's going to be
gonna lose, yeah.
more expensive for the consumer, and on the bottom end.
And it's what I was about to say.
On the bottom end.
The price point that they're supposedly saving
help.
and helping is the person that's gonna end up, the poor guy that doesn't want to pay the commission. That
So I actually have a conspiracy theory for that. I've been full of conspiracy theories today.
Yeah.
Hey,
Y'all
lately,
heard
for
I had my
real.
other one earlier today, which was pretty funny. But this one, what my conspiracy theory is for this, right, is because you have people like Blackstone, right? Blackstone, they've been buying the properties left and right. I think they have another 1.2 billion that they're going to buy up in properties. And now, you know who is not expensive for them to pay for representation? The people who have a whole team of lawyers already anyways for them to do their deals. So what they're going to do is just going to come in and buy up all the houses
We're
that the
here.
buyers can't buy because they don't have the money to do the representation costs. So for me, this, because there's somebody who's pushing this. Because if you look at the lawsuit,
So, I actually was reading
Yeah, go
something
ahead.
similar to that. That this is kind of like, something to gatekeep the rich to get richer and the
Exactly.
poor to get poorer, because the only way for a lot of people to get out there and start generating or creating like generational
well,
wealth, it's by starting to invest in real estate.
Yep.
So
You cut off certain men, and
Yes.
the only window of opportunity. becomes
yes,
once
I
again-
was reading about it and I was like, oh shoot, I didn't see it from that standpoint. Now I'm like, oh, okay, they're gonna right.
because if you think about it, right, if you look at the numbers in the lawsuit was what, 418 million. If you divide it by the amount of people who are involved in that lawsuit, the plaintiffs, the ones who are going to win, right? There it ends up being like a few $100s to sometimes even up to $1,000. So you're telling me that these people were like, you know what, we're okay with winning $500 to kick it to our realtors. No, there's somebody else who's pushing this.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's somebody else behind that who's pushing this agenda to make it through, because the people who aren't going to be able to afford it is first-time home buyers. Anybody who can afford a $500,000 house and more, they're not going to worry about this, right? They can take out a credit card or whatever it may be, take out a personal loan. They can pay the
Yes,
buyer's
definitely.
agent's commission, right? Or they'll have their lawyer do it. These people are picking up the houses, the regular 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,200 square foot house, and they're renting it back out to the people who now they screwed out of being able to afford to buy a house.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
And that was by my conspiracy theory.
Yep.
Since I saw this, I was like, it's
And I agree with it.
it's a money grab.
Yeah.
It's a money grab, 100%.
And while you were out there, with your flips and your your multifamily and all this other, BS that you were doing. You let the fox into the hen house.
Oh, that's another aspect. That's another aspect that people aren't even talking about.
No, they're not.
It's going to be a lot harder for regular people to become investors.
Oh, heck yeah.
That's pretty much gonna go away completely.
And once again, I've been ready for this. I've been saying, I say, hey, learn your craft, learn, because now you're not gonna be able to learn it. Now it's I don't want to say it's too late to learn it. I'm just saying that you're behind the 8 ball, and you might have another, maybe 5 to 10 years to learn this business before it's not accessible to you anymore.
And now, since we've been talking about lawsuits, right? I do see the next 2 to 3 years, brokers getting sued left and right.
Oh, heck yeah.
There's going to be almost
Yes.
no regulations, and nobody's
Yes.
going to know what's actually going on.
So check this out. This is it's interesting you said that. These telemarketers are always getting sued, right? But who do they sue? They sue the big companies. They
Where the
sue-
money's
They
at.
sue Keller Williams, they sue
Keller
Remax.
Mhm.
Well, the first mom and pop real estate company got sued for telemarketing.
Really?
Yes. So that means that, all the bigger brokers already just, they gave up. They pretty much say, hey, here's a settlement. I'm done. I made my millions. I'm ready. And so now that the attorneys are, they don't have anybody else to look to, they're gonna start going after the smaller brokerages. So smaller brokerages are gonna tighten up. You're gonna see the flat fee broker go away. You're gonna see the 100% commission broker go away. You're gonna see the cloud-based real brokerage really take a tumble.
Yeah,
Really take a tumble.
especially if they don't understand
Yes.
their market.
Oh yeah. Because those companies only stay in business by recruiting. Who are you going to recruit? There's no more, there's not going to be any more dumb young real estate agents joining the ranks that can be part of their machine.
And even if there is, it's too much of a liability.
Too much, yes.
Too much of a liability.
Too much, yes.
How do you feel as a broker with all of this? Like, how do you feel?
I've been ready for this. I'm excited. I'm happy for it. Unfortunately, maybe 20% of my realtors that I have now are gonna struggle if they don't listen, and not gonna struggle because I don't have the training, I don't have the tools, I don't have whatever they need. They're gonna struggle because this is work, and I've told everybody this is work.
You have
Okay.
to put in the work.
Yes, you can come in here and make a lot of money on social media really fast, but that's going away. This is work. You have to learn it. This is you talk to Ryan Serhant, right? Ryan Serhant thinks it's crazy that we touch our own contracts. All the other states think that it's crazy that we touch our own contracts, right? So we have some kid, right, that dropped out of school, took a class, at Champions, right, a school of real estate, became licensed, right, and they're typing up a contract to buy I had a guy that did that. He sold a 1.5. That was his first sell, 1.5 million. That's nuts. Say that out loud, to people from another state. They think it's crazy. So like I said, you have to learn your contracts. You have to learn the real estate. You have to learn. I mean, I talk to people and I'm like, hey, what are the stats? What's your market? What are you looking for? Who's your buyer? Who's this? They don't know. I've had people make $100,000 a year here, and the next year they're struggling, and I'm telling them, hey, what do you do? Oh man, I thought it was luck. It was just luck. I just got lucky. I said, no. You did the right things. Keep track of it. I had people talking about where's my where's my W-9. I said, well, how much did you make last year? I don't know. I said, you're not keeping track of how much money you're making? I mean, it's nuts. I mean, but like I said, me myself, I'm not worried at all because I'm on the other side. I don't go up and down with the tide. But some of my people do, unfortunately, because they don't listen and they're going to struggle.
And it's just a change. That's all it is. It's a change. This was on the horizon. Anybody who was in the business, I wasn't here long enough to be able to see after pandemic, right? So whenever I went into the pandemic and the money that was being made in the pandemic, I was like, oh, this is awesome. Because I was climbing the whole time I hit pandemic, so it just seemed like the next step, right? But that's not what it was. It was a blimp. And anybody who's been in the pandemic, like Nate had always been, during the pandemic, Nate and Vic told me, like, this is going to fall at one point, right? It's going to stop. You're going to have to figure out how to stay with, like, ride the wave and not just go in the ups and downs, right? So a lot of agents won't necessarily know that. And it's just a change that you're going to have to adjust to. You're going to have to figure out what's the next step. You can't get demoralized, right? Which a lot of people will. There's going to be a lot of people who, I can see a lot of realtors canceling their license and going to be wholesalers. And you don't need to do that, right? Like, if you're here to provide a service, you will get paid for your service. You just have to learn how to properly provide that service. It's funny that we were talking earlier that some realtors don't even know what they did to get paid because they probably didn't do anything, right? And that's the sad part, and that's why a lot of people don't
And,
like
you know,
this.
I think also the sad part on that is that, you know, us as a realtors a lot of times, you know, fail to tell our clients that, hey, it's not that my service is not free. Like, you know, as of now, the selling agent or the seller is the one that is paying you, like, you know, like you're 3%. It's not like it's free. And that, I mean, nobody tells really, you know, their clients, oh, yeah, like, you know, the other side is the one that is paying, like, my side.
Because it's hard. It's hard, right? It's hard to tell somebody how much you're getting paid. It's hard to tell your buyers, hey, you know what? Don't worry about it. Like, I'm going to get paid out of the loan. They're going to be like, okay, well, am I financing that for you? Even though it's tied into the house, or it was. Now it's moving to a different, like, program or deal, right? I want to ask you guys, who do you think this is going to affect, really? Like, you think there's going to be a lot of buyers who are going to walk away from using a realtor because they don't want to finance it, or they don't want to pay for it out of their pocket? And how do you think that's actually going to affect the housing market?
I tell you who's going to win. The notaria.
Oh my God.
Well,
You know what? That's going to create a lot of title
You're going to
problems.
see the rise.
The
You're going to
notaria.
see the rise of the notaria.
The rise of the notaria.
You're going to see the rise of
that's
the
a Marvel
notaria.
movie right there.
Typing up.
And
their-
I'm about to get
they're
my
gonna
license.
They're going to start typing up
Load of
their
Velasquez.
BS contracts
Farmer
again
ranching.
because they're going to charge you $150 for a contract. I'm telling you, it's going to be bad. And the thing is that
And they could, right? Because even though
Yes,
that there's
they
even though there's a listing agent on the other side, they can be the one who
just like a wholesaler can type up contracts.
True.
Crazy.
Just like a wholesaler can say, "Yeah, I'm buying your house," when they're really not. You know. So the thing is that you know you're gonna there's gonna be a lot of buyers that don't want to pay, and it's gonna be
Yes.
to their injury. Just like a lot of buyers will go to a notary and have them send them some promulgated deed, which a promulgated deed doesn't exist, by the way. I'm just they have them somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah.
But the thing is that they're gonna have these contracts, you know, and just to save money, they will do it. You know, and that's why everybody has to stick together, right? That's not price fixing. That's just an industry standard, okay? If you come to me, right, at Lionsgate Realty, and I tell you my commission is 3% and I represent you, that person needs to go to the other side of town to Keller Williams and say, hey, I need you to represent me. That person needs to say, I'm going to charge you 3% to represent you. And then they need to go to the west side and talk to an EXP agent. Same. It needs to be an industry standard.
That once again
Just
becomes
like
the new normal.
just like mortgages, there's an industry standard in mortgage. There's an industry standard in everything. It's not price fixing. It's just a standard.
And you know what? I actually think that this is going to clear the field.
Yes,
I think
definitely.
this needed to happen, right?
did.
And what's going to happen is there's going to be 5 years of people getting screwed, a bunch of lawsuits,
Yep.
another 5 years of people adjusting to whatever the DOJ says needs to be done, and then after those 10 years, we're going to go back to the system. It needs to be disclosed what everybody's getting paid
Yep.
up front, which that's how it is on the MLS right now, right? Everybody knows it's on there, boom, right? Whatever you're going to get paid from the buyer's agent. So it's going to go back to that. But what's going to happen in this industry is just going to clear out everybody who didn't deserve to get paid that other one automatically because it was on the listing agreement, right? So what's going to happen, what I see a lot is right now, a lot of people are going to get screwed over. They don't get proper representation. They're going to go the cheap route. Oh, this is awesome. 3% less that I have to pay. But you know who's going to get paid a lot more, which is hilarious, listing agents who know what they're doing because they have to do more work now.
Yeah.
They have to do double the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so listing
Imagine
agents,
now, like, on,
their commission ain't going down. They're going to get their six.
I
wouldn't
now they're
charge
gonna get-
less.
Their commission's going to double now because they're going to
I
get the
wouldn't
full-
charge less.
I went
or even
10%.
more. Exactly.
So you know this can go this. I mean, you know what? Honestly, this is gonna turn the real estate industry into a car dealership. You know, you're gonna walk into the car dealership. You're gonna walk into the office. There's gonna be some dummy, right? That's gonna meet you at the parking lot, and he's gonna bring you inside, and he's gonna take you to his manager. You know, and
I'm hiring, guys. I'm hiring.
and that dummy's gonna be the one riding around all over town showing these freaking properties. You know what you're gonna see a rise in? You're gonna see a rise in electric cars wrapped with the brokerage's information, and it's gonna be some dummy, some kid riding around town showing all the dang houses, and then they're gonna bring them back to the office for the contract.
Guys, I'm hiring an assistant.
That's what's gonna.
We have our eyes on a few Ford Mustangs, right? The new ones already. Yeah.
You know what? It's a good thing that I used to run a car dealership. You know, and I run a builder, a community, and I run so you know, anything that they can throw at us, I'm ready for it.
So let me ask you this, right? You being a broker, you've been in this industry for a long time, and also in the car industry. I actually made a post something whenever this first came up that they settled. I said what's going to happen is you're going to get rid of part-time realtors. You're not going to see part-time realtors anymore.
Yes.
What you're going to see is a lot of interns.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to get your license just yet, or you're not going to hold your license with me.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to do all this work until I feel that you're ready to act as a listing agent, not as a buyer's agent. So I'm going to have you running around town doing all of this with these buyers, potential buyers who don't want to have representation. I'm going to get all of this, and I'm going to pay you an hourly fee.
Free labor.
You think that's going to happen?
Well,
almost free labor,
The thing is this, and so in reality, all of y'all real estate agents, you know, you guys are supposed to be under brokers, right? As apprentices. That's what y'all are. You're apprentices until you become a broker. And then, you know, when you become a broker, doesn't mean you have to go and start your own company. It's hard running a brokerage. It's really hard running one, you know? You're supposed to become you're supposed to become a broker, and you're supposed to, you know, several brokers running the freaking brokerage, and then you have all the apprentices that are trying to get to where the brokers are at. That's what this is supposed to be. But what happened was, it's hard running people while you have NAR, TAR, and HARD down your throat. You know, you have Champion School of Real Estate, you know, gassing up these realtors, you know, in their classes
Teaching
with
you
their own
slowly.
agendas, right? So then you got this punk kid, you know, that comes to interview with you. That's why I don't do interviews. And says, "What do you have to offer? What do you have to offer? Where's your resume? What have you done? What do you need? What are you gonna do for me? You know?" But no, they flipped it on us, and that's why we're in this problem. That's why we're where we're at.
So what I'm starting to see too, right, or what I can envision happening is that a lot of these teams, a lot of these social media superstars are going to go away simply because of this, because they only know how to deal with buyers, right? A lot of these teams only know how to deal with buyers. Mm-hmm. So if these go away, do you see the broker becoming way more powerful?
Yes.
And not just be more powerful, but also being dangerous, because they can bamboozle a lot of these newer agents and take up a lot more than the regular split that everybody's worried about, their 30-70 or their 60-40, right, whatever it may be. Now it's going to be the other way. You're going to get your 20%, the broker's going to get their 80.
Yeah.
Do you see that happening? Could it happen?
I mean, that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to give power back to us. We're not going to want to hire. And I'm telling you right now, I mean, I literally had, you know, my questions. Somebody asked me, "Hey, I tried to interview with you guys or whatever, you know, try to come on with you guys." And I said, "Hey, seriously, you know, if they haven't called you back, you're not it." You know, because you don't understand how many interviews.
You don't have a family member.
You don't know how many interviews Vic has done, okay? And they're not saying the right things. They're not, you know? And we don't want them. They're liabilities. They're liabilities. They don't know what they're doing. And we have enough people here already, you know, that we that we have to take care of, you know? And so yes, it's gonna go back to the way it used to be, where, you know, and when I got my real estate license, I interviewed with like 3 brokers that didn't take me. And you know, that was what, 2004?
What was their answer? It was just like, no, like, you don't fit in with us?
No, just, you know, they wanted somebody with experience. They wanted somebody, you know, honestly, a lot of the realtors back then, it was kind of like a legacy. It was like the mom, the dad, you know, they were like all.
Come from like a family that's been doing this.
Pretty much what I've been building for the last, you know, 20 years.
Just to clarify on air, my contract is 6 years, right?
Your contract renews automatically every year.
Every year.
Definitely.
Do you think that because a lot of agents are like, you know, dropping NAR, there is another association that might pop up and start brainwashing people?
There's no other association going to pop up. and dropping NAR is the worst thing that you can do right now. That's the only coverage that you have. And you know, honestly, you drop NAR, nothing's gonna pop up. You're just gonna be left in, you know, twisted in the wind, like I said.
It's going to be whoever has the best lawyers.
Yeah,
That's what's going
whoever
to
has the best lawyers. Yeah.
Who could afford it?
Who can afford the best
Yeah.
lawyers. That's what's going
And
to
so
happen.
so you know, unfortunately, right? I don't know why NAR hasn't, you know, reached out or hasn't said anything, you know. But yeah, I mean, they've made bad moves. But you know what? Honestly, it's the real estate agent's fault, right? Because the most famous, popular real estate agents that are on Instagram, that are on TikTok, that are on social media, right? Which one of those sits on the board of anything, any of our industry? Which ones are industry leaders? None of them. They're too busy trying to get popular and famous themselves instead of using what they have as a platform
To benefit.
to benefit all the real estate agents.
I mean, we haven't seen them ever since.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
so,
happened.
so yeah, so if you go to a meeting, go to a HAR board meeting, you're gonna see anybody there you know from Instagram? No. Go to to one of the NAR conventions or whatever they have, right? You're gonna see anybody here locally that you know so well? No, they don't care. They were in here to rape this industry for what it was giving them, and they're gonna be done with it. Whenever this changes and they can no longer make money on it, they're gonna go back to their day jobs, and I'm fine with it.
So here's a question.
I'm gonna be here.
Everybody's going to focus on the listings, you know, and sellers and the commissions and 6%. Nobody's going to try to change that. That's the normal. Everybody's selling then, right? Aren't they going to be buying a new home? Are they going to jump in without being represented?
That's where the consumer screws themselves. As always, the consumer screws themselves. They think they're winning and they're losing at the same time.
But the thing is this,
Or
right?
even harder, yeah.
Like right now, there's brokers trying to get ahead of this, right? Or really team leaders trying to get ahead of this, right? They say, oh, we're going to double down on listings because listings is where it's going to be at.
Who's
Bro.
going to buy, though?
Well, not just that. You essentially took away the power that you had, right? So I'm explaining to you why. If you're a listing agent, right, and you negotiated 8% commission, right, and you're going to give 4% to the buyer's agent and you're going to give 4% for yourself, right, then I'm bound to that 4%. So that means no matter what, I only get 4%. But no, you negotiate 8%, I negotiate 8% with my guy too. Hey, we're both good, right?
So you're getting a bigger.
So now I'm going to send you a LOI and I'm going to say, hey, my buyer wants to buy at this price. This is what he has. This is his approval letter, and this is my commission. And I already negotiated to him, and so I'm not being unethical. I'm not trying to negotiate my commission. It's in his best interest for that commission to come out of your pocket.
Yes.
Okay? So now it turns out it's still going to be who's the biggest and the baddest.
Yeah. Who's the better negotiator?
And I'm the better negotiator, so I am not worried about a thing. I'm only worried for my agents and for anybody who wants to join my team and wants to be part of this.
So if my broker's not worried, I'm not worried.
Don't be worried. Don't worry. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna get ours.
And
Be
the
all
main
right.
reason not to be worried, right? And this goes out to all of the teams and all of the brokerages who are used to only working with buyers and they're trying to go in and double down on the selling side, right? They don't have enough experience on the selling side to where all they're going to do on the selling side, which is something that I've already seen, they're just going to be yes men like how they were with the buyers.
Yep.
So the house is overpriced $200,000. Yes, let me list it. What's going to happen is I already had 2 or 3 people call me that picked up an expired just recently who called me. I didn't call them, right? I didn't go prospect them. They've been calling me and asking me questions about what's going on, why hasn't their listing sold. And I straight up tell them, I was like, give me your listing. I look at it, it's like, it's way overpriced. I was like, if you're not willing to come down on this price, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I know what my time is worth. Your home is overpriced for this market. And there's
it's
too much
still gonna be-
competition. So if you're not willing to entertain the price that I'm selling you right now, then it's not even worth me doing business with
definitely.
you. Because my time is more important where I could be helping other people who are actually willing to go on the market. And what's going to happen with all of these buyer's agents, they're going to turn into yes men with the seller's agent. They're going to pick up listings with hard-headed people who aren't realistic on what the market says their home is valued. But that's not the people that I'm looking to get.
And let me tell you something real quick. I've had realtors accuse me, right, where they go, oh, we can't get to that price. If you go down your commission. No, I'm not going down on my commission. oh, you rather lose this deal than go down your commission? That means that, you know, you're being unethical. You're not looking out for your best interest of your buyer. And I said, no. I said, I know, I'm working for my commission. And I said, but you know what? I'll do you one even better. And I will talk to my buyer, and I'll say, hey, look, they want this, but they want me to go down on my commission. And because I represent, I know all aspects of this business for my buyers, they will negotiate my commission with me. They say, no, if you're not going to pay my realtor his commission, then we will walk on this deal. It's only XYZ dollars, you know? And so and that just goes back to the time I spend with my buyers, the amount of attention I give them, the amount of information I give them, you know? And you know, a lot of people think that, you know, realtors are useless because of the realtors that we have now. But the thing is this, I always tell people, look, you know, engineers, some of the smartest people that you know, right? Most of my clients are engineers. A lot of my clients have millions of dollars at their, you know, disposal, you know, and I hate to say that, right? I hate to sound like those people that say, oh, yeah, my clients have millions of dollars, right? But yes, they have millions of dollars. They can consult with anybody, but they will not make a move without me, without talking to me, without asking for my opinion, because my experience is valuable to them. They know that whatever money I charge is a drop in the bucket to what they will save and to the amount of heartache that I'll save them.
Investment, pretty much. Like they
Pretty
know,
much,
like
yes.
they're investing
Yes.
into your knowledge.
Yes. So am I smarter than an engineer? No, I'm not. Am I, you know, obviously some of these guys are way smarter than me, but when it comes to real estate, I mean, I literally can, you know, how you say, I do circles around them with real estate.
Mm-hmm. It's part of knowing your craft, right? And that's why, that's why they hire the realtors,
Definitely.
right? That's your job. I've had a few investors who just tell me, hey, you know what? These are the numbers I'm looking to hit. I'm not going to send you houses. You find them for me, send them to me. Let's go look at them. I like it. We'll execute. Because that's what they want, right? Like they know, and that's the reason why they're reaching out to you. They could do the search themselves. They don't need to hire a realtor. They really don't want to. As a matter of fact, they could probably lose on that house for 5 years and they'll be okay, right? But the point is that they don't want to deal with that headache. That's what you're coming in for. And you're saving them time. And a lot of times, it's not necessarily just about saving them money. It's about saving them time because they make more money off of their time that they're saving.
And I promise you that I'm not running for any kind of office. But the thing is this, there, you know, the term realtor is so loosely just given. All you have to do is have a HAR membership, be part of MLS, be a HAR, and you're a realtor.
And post cute pictures, cute
Yes,
videos.
you should be a real estate agent, right? And earn your designation as a realtor, okay? But there goes a second mistake. What are designations here in Texas? A 30-minute class and you're a luxury. You're designated as a luxury realtor. A freaking 30-minute class and you're considered a builder. I mean, come on. This is it's nobody's fault but the associations that we belong to and all the realtors. Let me rephrase that. All the brokers that didn't keep their realtors in line and let these clowns run around. They let the clowns take over the circus. Bottom line.
Make sure y'all share this video. Make sure this video gets around, okay? Make sure y'all know who we are, who we stand for.
People will hear this and just keep going. They want.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and close out. Awesome podcast. Again, we did have a special guest.
You know, you had our special guest on the picture and everything.
Yeah.
People were expecting that. So, I mean, at least say, you know what, we're going to reschedule.
Yeah,
emergency.
that's what I was going into.
Yeah.
I was going into that.
I don't want to catfish
Our broker gets a little too excited sometimes,
Yeah.
that's how he defends you under contracts as well. So we were supposed to have Gustavo from Blumenbox. We're going to reschedule him sometime this coming month or this month as well, depending on what his time frame looks like, what time he has available. Again, we are Lionsgate Realty here. This is the HBR podcast, Houston Business Real Estate. We are live every Wednesday, 7 p.m. We have another Spanish podcast at 6:30. It's called Houston Without Limits, Houston Sin Límites, right, on Spanish. It's a 30-minute podcast, 6 to 6:30. I'm going to go ahead and let everybody exit. Again, I am your gracious host, Giovanni Frank.
I am Santiago Fonseca, also real estate agent here with Lionsgate Realty. You guys can find me on social platforms at Santiago_F1.
My name is Nathan Valderas. You can find me on all my social medias with Better Call Nate. And remember, I empower all races, all ethnicities, all genders as realtors.
This is Flor Velasquez with Lionsgate Realty, and I'm the Spanish podcast host, Houston Sin Límites. If you guys are a local business owner that are wanting to get a little bit more exposure, get to us, and we'll be happy to, have schedule a little interview with you. Thank you.
This is Itzia with Lionsgate Realty, your agent here. You can follow me on Instagram as It's the Realtor. Till next Wednesday.
And before we leave, I do want to say we have a realtor on our team who is giving cleaning classes. You can see her on my stories. So go check out my story. Until next time.
Terrible, man.